Welcome to Life Workshop, where we discuss the forgotten basics. As usual, we are here, your most favorite people, the host and the co-host, Mo and Bo.
Hello.
And today's topic that we are going to talk about is gift. Yay or nay? Obviously, we end up, giving a lot of gifts or sometimes receiving, hopefully, some gifts back. And the question is that, what does it do? Are we on the right track? So just before we go too far, probably it will become 2, I'm hoping not 3 podcasts on this one, depending on how much of an argument we get into with Bo on this one.
Well, I'm not argumentative. What are you talking about?
And then, but there are gonna these things that I would like to talk to cover. One is that what is a gift, and are we doing it right? The second one is, are we choosing gifts and giving gifts at the right time? So do we choose gifts the proper way and giving it at the right time? We will talk about that. And the third one is, if we are not doing it right, then how we should change it. But anyway, so there's these 3 topics, but we'll get to details of them as we start. So the very first one, I went and checked,
Wait a minute. What was the first one again? What are we talking about?
What is a gift?
What
is a gift? And are we doing it right?
Okay.
Then the second one was...
I don't want to know the second one yet. Let's deal with the first one.
So the first one. I went and checked, this is the Google, on Google, the meaning for the gift. As a noun, it means a thing given willingly to someone without payment. It's a present. And as a verb, it is give something as a gift, especially, formally, or as a donation or bequest.
Wait a minute. It had its own word in the definition of what the word is?
I mean, as a verb, it used it. As a verb, giving a gift.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute.
Giving a gift. As a verb, it uses the word gift in it, yeah. So anyway, So the question is that normally when we give, it is giving something willingly to someone without payment as well. Basically we don't expect back. But are we doing it that way? Are we normally when we give a gift, do we expect something back?
No. Why would you? That's silly.
It's not supposed to be. So when it comes, let's say for Christmas, for birthday, when you give a gift, let's say to your girlfriend, then you don't expect them to give you a gift back for Christmas or birthday.
Well, that's different. That's a traditional holiday.
Okay, so it became tradition. But we just talked about gift, though.
What do you mean?
Yes, the meaning of the gift is to give without expecting anything back.
Yeah, well, I guess if you get something back, good. If you don't, that's how.
But
how
this
it
is where I'm
guess.
going. We do expect normally something back. I bought you a gift. Where is my gift?
It's a traditional. That's a traditional holiday situation for society, though. Maybe that's called a present.
Okay.
We can just change the word.
A present is when you don't expect back. And this is where I'm going. When we say tradition, this is exactly why I'm talking about this. Because is the tradition correct, or shall we change it? That is my question. And I'm not saying necessarily it's bad, so don't take me wrong. But the question is that, are we doing it the right way? When on a tradition, for example, for Christmas, for the birthdays, for Valentine, I don't know, and some other excuses, we buy each other gifts. But we expect something back. So basically we are doing it the wrong way. It's not a gift, it's a transaction. I did this for you, I expect something back.
I don't know. I've bought Christmas presents for people who I know aren't going to give me one back. And I never really cared about it.
Okay. So then you're the good guy. Because
don't do that.
Because often, I don't know, as a listener,
I'm just saying, like you've never bought anyone a birthday present or a Christmas present on one of those, like, to say societal days, and do you always expect something back? Come on. I know you've given a gift. For those without thinking about
in the past. Nowadays, actually, my thing is that I don't buy anybody any gift. We'll get into that. But in the past, I have done that. But at the same time, no, I did expect something back. And if they didn't, then screw you. I'm not going to buy you another one. So, and then if I bought you a more expensive gift,
That
and you
sounds
gave
like
me
a
some,
you issue.
well, it's not just my issue. I hope the people that are listening, to this, you answer it honestly. Not that you become a hero in this, whatever discussion that you want to win the conversation, like some people. I'm kidding.
I don't know. Yeah.
As I said, this is becoming an arm wrestling at the end.
What are you talking about? No, we're not at all.
But this is the moral of the story. We often, when I say that, I haven't done the stat, but I would say very frequently when we give gift, especially when we give it on occasions, we give it with an expectation or obligation. It's an obligation that we have to give a gift. When it comes Christmas, Valentine, just tell me this. If you wouldn't buy your girlfriend on Valentine a gift, or you wouldn't take her flower, do you think she would be okay with that? Maybe this is the right question.
Well, I didn't get dumped yet, so...
Did you buy them a gift?
Why are you asking me these questions?
So just be honest. So because you bought them a gift. If you didn't...
I did not.
You did not get them a gift?
No.
Not even for Christmas? Or
no, not for Valentine's Day, because I think Valentine's Day is an invalid holiday.
Oh, okay.
And I won't do it.
So you're one of those people.
You're not allowed to say that. Those people. We've talked about this many times.
It's us.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all us. There is no such a thing as those people. I'm going to say it in here. I'm going to break my own rules.
Yeah.
But the moral
Why you got to put me on the spot like that?
No, the moral of the story is that we do that. Very frequently it is done. That is my thing. And I'm not saying it's not just a podcast. It's not just you and me. It's about the general public, the things that we do. So we normally do. And if we don't, then we end up in the doghouse.
Yeah, but isn't that because, like, some people need that? Like, they need that validation or something?
Yes, we get there. It's the love language. We will get there in this podcast. So, anyway, what I'm trying to say is when it becomes an obligation, to be honest, it's not as much a value. But because we say it's a tradition, we just end up, doing it again and again. On the other hand, actually before this podcast, we had a conversation. When it is done on a random basis, you just get somebody just a gift or something. And then when I'm saying gift, I'm not saying necessarily buying them something. Maybe something that you cook, you take there. I don't know, you do something for them. Normally, they are more value and they will be remembered better. Am I correct? The random gifts. We talked about that.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to say this. I don't know if you remember, about 2 years ago when we started, after my house was finished, that we started basically hanging out a bit more. When I was asking you to come over for supper, normally you would try to bring something, which I insisted, don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, which you didn't, then one day you came randomly with 6 beers.
Oh, well, it was...
And then you said
18, but whatever.
Who counts?
Yeah, okay.
But it was 6. But the thing was that you said that, hey, I just saw this and I really like this beer. I want to try it. I remember that better than...
Which time are you talking about?
It was
the time when I just drove up in the truck and you were outside?
I mean, that was one of them. I remember that exactly.
See, that's what I was thinking about.
This is exactly, except that one night you came for supper, but you just brought a thing to a pack of 6 too, just randomly. And actually, this is the thing. I exactly remember those. But the ones, and I really forced myself into remembering it before this podcast, I was thinking, and I was trying to remember when I was making supper, and at the beginning you wanted to kind of compensate. I don't remember them. This is where I'm going with it. With the random acts, they are a lot more tasteful. But when we do it on an occasion base, it is not. Occasions are, again, Christmas, birthdays, Valentine, I don't know, some other things that we come up with. Why are we doing it the wrong way? That is exactly where I'm going with that.
We kind of talked about it earlier. I feel like I'm repeating myself now, but wait, I haven't. We talked about it earlier. That I think that in a traditional sense, when we have Christmas and birthdays and all that sort of thing, it's more of a clever way of society kind of evolved this way or whatever, that it helps you keep in contact with certain people and it makes you think about others and to do something for them, and sometimes you wouldn't do that as much, right? Or you get sort of shitty feeling about it or whatever, right? But at least you're thinking about some other people, and it's a way of kind of keeping in contact, and it forces you to kind of try and care about others. Not care about, but at least think about others.
Fair enough. I understand.
I'm kind of my thoughts are kind of muddled, but I think what I'm trying to get across is that it forces you to think about other people, whether you like it or not, and that we should probably think about it better if we don't like doing it.
I completely understand what you're saying, and it makes sense to some extent, but I think we have gone a little bit on the wrong pathway. When you think of somebody, you don't have to buy them something. It can be as simple as this: hey buddy, you know what, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, let's get together sometime.
Yeah, sure. But
it doesn't have to be.
It is the occasion that you're doing that in the first place, correct. So it has the same effect.
Correct. But we are talking about the gift. It doesn't have to be a gift. That is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be. And I'm not saying don't be at all. But, sometimes we are doing it the wrong way. Because they say the love languages, now we are going a little bit ahead of the thing. But I should read this. The love languages, they say there are these 5 different things. So you can rock somebody's boat in one of these 5 ways, or maybe more, 2, 3 ways. But again, it's not that everybody wants gifts, myself being one. But they say love languages are this: word of affirmation. If, for example, say that, hey, Bo, I miss you, man. Just in words to say that, I love hanging out with you. This is one. The other one is quality time. That if you sit and have a nice conversation or something. The third one is receiving gifts. That if you buy somebody a gift. And then the fourth one is act of service. That hey, what? If you need a hand with something, I just come and jump and help you. Or even if you don't ask for it, I come and do it for you. Mm-hmm. That's the act of service. And then the fifth one is the physical touch. That in the Western world, especially North America, I would say it has become a lot more less, because as soon as you touch, now you have entered my space, or it can be uncomfortable, or these things, which really, I think, is one big part that we are missing in this part. Not like in the Middle East, that where I come from, or in Greek or Italian, that there is more touch. And personally, I find it very actually warm, and I love it personally. So, but now the concept of the giving gift in order to tell somebody, hey, I remember you and I appreciate you, is a little bit, it's one way, but it's not necessarily the best way for the other party. We don't know that. And they say one of the best way to understand how somebody, what they appreciate, is just talk to them, ask them, what rocks your boat? What is your love language? And there are tests that you can do. I'm sure if you Google it, love language, I don't know, test or something, I'm sure there are tests that you can do and, find out that, what it is yours and what is somebody else. And this is where I'm going with this. The things that we want to do, is it doing what we want it to do? That's my question. And for some people, yes, it is gift. You buy them gift, they will be happy. But I would say for most of the time, because it's just one of the 5, 4 of the 5, that's not gift. And then we end up buying gift, which is an expense. Especially, we buy them sometimes something that they don't really care for. And I have asked this from people that sometimes they said that they get even upset that, why do you buy me this? It doesn't fit me. I don't like the color, or I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't need it.
That's pretty rude.
No. They don't go tell the other party. At least, but they feel that way about it, and it happens very frequently.
Yeah, I understand. I don't really care for getting gifts either.
Exactly. So. That's why my next question, just to answer.
I don't even like. I'll buy gifts or I'll give gifts, I guess, fairly often. But when it's like a birthday or Christmas and things like that, I do, and I go and I look and I do all that stuff, but it's not getting wrapped.
Fair enough.
You know what? Here's the thing, and I was thinking about you.
I even opened it from the box. I used it once.
Yeah, and that sounds very harsh. I know it does, but
And this was exactly my next question that you answered. And my question would be, now this is for the audience, that when you receive a gift, do you get excited about it? Of course, you said not much. and neither myself.
Not for me. And I mean, like not Christmas, birthday, because those are expected, and that's the thing. And it's nice. Don't get me wrong, it's nice and everything. But if it was something random, like you were saying before, something random that I didn't see coming, or it's like, oh wow, there's a little bit excitement or appreciation. I don't know about excitement, but appreciation.
Exactly. Again, we are going back to this. The random ones are a lot more tasteful. When we say it's an expectation, to be honest, are you kidding me? You expect that, I expect something back, and you better be paying the same amount that I paid for your gift or something.
That's unhealthy when people get like that. When they
actually
have to spend exactly the same amount on, like, say, all of my kids or something, have to be all the same. It's like come on, that's not what the whole thing is supposed to be about.
This is where I'm going again. With all these things, we are giving a wrong message. We are doing the wrong thing. We are spending money. It becomes stressful on ourselves. We are buying something that the other party doesn't want. I should tell you this. I have this friend of mine that, for example, for his birthday, it is a kind of in their family, they have to buy him some gift. And they did. And then he was just opening it, and you could see very clearly that he could care less for any single one of them. But he had to show that, oh, I'm so excited. Thank you for buying me this useless gift that I never wanted. It was literally that. And they were expensive. Some of them were expensive. And I know for a fact that his parents, they were a bit, financially limited. And it was a pressure on them to go and spend this much money on a gift that he doesn't want. And I brought it up with him. I said, why don't you just go and talk about this? Why just to go tell everybody, you know what, let's just stop this damn thing. But this is, this is a kind of a tradition in the home. I said, there are lots of things that they have been tradition. We have had lots of stupid tradition before. This is another one. And sometimes they have gone the wrong way. I understand the concept of forcing us to remember. A lot of times things start with a good intention. But if we don't reevaluate them, they go a wrong way. Very frequently it happens. A lot of things that they start for a good reason with a good intention behind them. If you ask Taliban in Afghanistan, I'm going to an extreme, why women should, be covered and not to go to school, trust me, they have a very good reason. But the reason was reasonable, God knows how many years ago. But they have stuck to it and they have worsened it. And this happens all the time. We don't do this with the bad intention. Very frequently, I don't want to bring some hot issues right now. I won't discuss them. But very frequently, we start things with good reasons, but when we don't reevaluate them, they go on the wrong path, and then they go actually out of hand. And they just out of control and becomes just dumb. It hasn't gone that far.
Oh, agreed,
And the Christmas thing,
that's out of control. It's so commercial, and
exactly
the way that people, like, it means more usually if you've actually made something yourself than going out and buying something really expensive or giving from, like you always say, give from your abundance, right? Mm-hmm. That's not always going out and buying someone something. But I still don't think we throw out the tradition altogether.
I would say we have to refine it. I will leave that alone. I'll just just think about it a little bit. But I wanted just to add one more thing. Before we finishing this podcast, mm-hmm. I had this. I was dating this girl that she didn't make too much money necessarily. She was very average, but then for her son, this is years ago. For her son, he got more than $700 in gifts. I'm talking about 20 years ago, which $700 was a lot more value than it is right now. And then I said, why? This is ridiculous. Actually, he ended up getting 2 gifts of the same, which was those CD players that you would put on your belt, and you would with a headphone. This is the old thing.
Mm-hmm. I remember them well.
They remember. He got 2 of them. And sweet. Each one of them, I bought one of them actually personally, which was I think $60 or $70 that I had bought it. And then
that's like a cheap one. You cheapskate. What the heck?
Hey, you don't buy gift for your girlfriend and you don't wrap it. Okay, so let's take it easy, buddy.
I knew that was going to come back to haunt me.
Now I know. But anyways, so, and then when I brought it up, I said, at least give one of those things back. and get the money and spend somewhere. The young man who was, I think, 11 years old, no, he didn't want. He wanted to keep both of them, and he broke one of them the exact same day. The same day or the day after.
He needed two.
Exactly. Broke the other one later on. Don't worry. Not too long after. But my thing, and then when I said, why do you do this? Then this was her answer. She said, but don't you see that excitement? It is, and it was in a, there were quite a few friends because I was really a kind of not happy with the whole thing when I brought up, and then she brings it up. But do you see that excitement that he gets when he's unwrapping? Isn't that worth, spending all that money? I said, what is the message are you sending to your son? For that little bit of excitement that you're going to get, go spend that much money. Is that what you're saying? Because that is what I heard. For that momentary excitement when you're unwrapping the paper, that gift paper that you don't use, by the way, you don't wrap them, then
it's a waste. Waste is bad for the environment.
And you took the excitement away, by the way. Then,
good.
For that moment, you're willing to tell your son to spend, hundreds of dollars. Is that what you're saying? So what's the next thing? Hey, for that a little bit of a moment, go, I don't know, buy something more expensive. Where is that sense of responsibility and the sense of, holding back, thinking twice? A lot of things are fun. Remember that. We don't do them because they don't make sense. Because in a short run, drinking and driving is fun. Trust me. Because you don't know what the hell you're doing. It's just fun. But we don't do that because if we do, we can cause problems that they are a lot more, problematic down the road. So we don't go, because it's fun for a short term, lose on a long term. We don't do that. But that is exactly the message you're passing to your own son. And then you wonder why when he grows up, he doesn't know how to handle money. He's, they have excitement. They want immediate gratification. This is exactly how it happens.
Well, that was a pretty large leap. But
that's how it works with me. I just take it.
Yeah. When you tell that story to me, what comes into my mind, this is armchair psychology over here, is that the mother, it's about her and it's about what she wants. It's not about the kid at all. And her love language is most likely gifts. So she wants to receive gifts, and that's how she thinks, and that's how she's projecting onto her son. This is how I'm showing you that I appreciate her, that I love you, is by giving gifts, even though it could not be his love language, so it's falling short.
Exactly.
But it's about her, it's not about him, and it's not about responsibility, and it's nothing like that.
But again,
it does. I can see how you can make those leaps down the road, but
because otherwise I'm going to give you the freedom and just go drink and drive and maybe do some pots when you're drinking. I want to give you freedom. This is the good in bad. I just found that.
I give you presents, so now go drink and drive.
Yeah. Why not? This is what I want to teach my children and any child that for God's sake, you want to think twice.
So to stop drinking and driving, we have to stop giving presents.
Well, that's not. Now you just took it too far.
No, that's too far.
For a short gain, you don't do when the long-term loss. You don't do that. That's all. For just I'm getting excited because unwrapping the papers and what's behind it. Because gambling is fun too. When you gamble and you pull that damn thing.
It's only fun when you win.
Exactly. But because you're spending money. But now it is somebody else's money. So you just teach them again that don't be respectful to somebody else's money just for yourself. Anyway, we are going too far with this thing.
Yeah.
We are going to have an arm wrestling after this.
No.
Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope this provokes and some thoughts and I'm hoping that you guys go discuss it. Because sometimes listening to this is one thing, but really bringing it up because we make assumptions what other people think. This is very frequently. We are going to bring it up a little bit in the next podcast, but for the time being, I'm going to leave this one alone. Again, don't forget, Life is simple, we make it complicated. And for the question, please, please, please go ahead and ask people what rocks their boat. It is the love languages that we discussed. And I'm going to very quickly say that. Is this word of affirmation for them? Is quality time? Is it they want really receiving gift will do it, or act of service if you do something for them, or physical touch, And you don't make the assumption that you know. Simply ask them. And sometimes we don't know exactly which one it is or which ones they are. Sometimes it's not a bad idea if you go and do some, this test that they are online. This will save you a lot of money. At the same time, trust me, it will work a lot better. Myself, when I'm talking about this now, I'm going a bit too far. Personally, as I was preparing for this podcast, I realized the mistakes that I have made in the past, and I'm going to fix them. Anyway, okay. Love you all. Okay, take care. Bye.